that we all may be one. This is a glorious vision of Jesus delivered to the disciples just before his betrayal and conviction. He prays that God will sanctify them in the truth. He sends them out into the world, and then he tells them that he has shared his glory so that all may be one. Unity, acceptance, cohesion, agreement, solidarity, harmony, unanimity, dwelling in concord. These are all possible interpretations of what it is to be one. It makes you wonder what went wrong, because nearly 2,000 years later, we still are far from being one, aren't we? At the international level, some of the nations of the world are engaged in various forms of warfare, terrorism, and genocide. It's as if some people really think that killing off part of the human race will somehow benefit them. At the corporate level, the great captains of industry deny responsibility for oil spills, mining disasters, and mechanical failures, all while receiving compensation at levels which continue to set unimagined records. It's as if some no longer care about anything other than their own wealth. At the national level, our democracy seems to have lost all interest in political discourse, preferring to lob insults, criticism, blame at the opposition, instead of seeking to work with them for the common good. It's as if some honestly believe that resentment, our decision to blame someone else for our misfortune or trouble or problems or failure, that harboring resentment is better than solving problems. And our churches, my friends, our churches are no better. An article posted online by the Huffington Post lists 10 ways we Christians fail at being Christian. I think the author, John Shore, may be onto something. The first reason he suggests we failed at being Christian is that we have too much money. According to Mr. Shore, wealthy Christian should be a contradiction in terms. Here's a stunning indictment of Western Christianity for our sisters and brothers in Sudan or Haiti or Palestine. Well, they're not nearly so wealthy. We are far from one in this regard. And it's not just at the geopolitical level that contrasts the prosperous parts of the world with the developing nations. We are far from being one as Christians worldwide, far from being one in our various denominations, and even far from being one in our own local communities. And I don't think I need to give you any more specific examples, do I? You know what I mean. And at the same time, there are many signs of hope. I have one from this past week that I'd like to share with you, an article from the New York Times Magazine just last Sunday called "The Moral Life of Babies." Quoting from that essay, babies seem spastic in their actions, undisciplined in their attention. In 1762, Jean-Jacques Rousseau called the baby a perfect idiot. And in 1890, William James famously described a baby's mental life as one great blossoming, buzzing confusion. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Yet the article reports surprising results of experimentation. 8-month-old babies got to choose between puppets, one who rewarded another puppet and one who punished the other puppet. The thing that is complicated is the puppets who were rewarded or punished were first depicted as good or bad. That is, one puppet helped another do something while another hindered this. When the target of the action was a good guy, the babies preferred the puppet who was nice to it. Hardly surprising. But when the bad guy puppet was rewarded or punished, they chose the Punisher. Despite their overall preference for good actors over bad ones, babies are drawn to the puppet who punishes the bad one. There's even one baby who smacked the bad puppet. Morality, it seems, may not be something that is learned so much as forgotten. This is wonderful, good news for us. It means we do not so much have to fret about teaching our children the difference between right and wrong, as we need to continue to demonstrate through our actions that we know the difference, and it matters to us. We can become more one simply by cleaning up our act a little, ramping down the little white lies, curbing the occasional cuss word, or lending a helping hand to another now and again. The good news for us is that all this discord, all the recriminations, all the disputes we see and read about and get caught up in are acquired behavior. Something we picked up from a not too reputable source. But when we really seek to be at one with the inherent goodness in each of us, goodness bestowed by God from the moment of creation, when we are in touch with this inner force of good, we act accordingly. And babies know how to do it, how to reward good behavior, and even how to offer consequences for poor behavior. We don't need to learn how to do this. We need to unlearn how to do anything other. Because this world of ours is chock full of signs of oneness and signs of brokenness, and they're all together, all mixed up, all muddled and confused. And we need to separate the inherent goodness from the acquired bad, the sheep from the goats, as it were. We need to do this as a world, as a nation, as the Christian church, as a denomination, a diocese, a parish, and most of all, we need to do this as individuals. We need to come to terms with the original goodness of creation, our innate integrity, the values instilled in each and every one of us by our Creator, and rid ourselves of the forces of evil that obscure and disfigure the image of God in each of us, to turn away from violence as a means of solving any problem, to forget how to insult and blame others, forget how to stoke the fires of resentment, forget how to become more and more enslaved to our acquisitions. Because when we are one with our inner goodness, when we are at peace with ourselves and the world, when we embrace the love, the hope, and the truth that is at the heart of the gospel, only then can we cast away all fear, all hesitation, all cynicism. And then, my friends, we would be truly one, not only with ourselves and our fellow travelers in this journey, but also with God. And when we are one with God, we help bring the kingdom of justice and love and peace and righteousness ever closer, because the divine glory that Jesus has shared with all humanity, that glory will shine forth in us. It's an invitation offered again and again, each week and every day, to all of us, that we all may be one, sharing in divine glory. So come, you that have been richly blessed by the grace of God, inherit the goodness prepared for you from the foundation of the world.